Goldfields has mines in Australia, Ghana, Peru and South Africa.
Yes, the South African asset, of course, is a residual one, but it's that South Deep asset, which is very deep but very high margin. So
Market cap 44.2 billion rand, a PE of 14.1, dividend yield here of 2%. And alongside Stuart Bailey, you've got Sven Lunscher.
Yeah.
Is Sven Lunscher doing the comms side? Exactly the same role that Stuart Bailey plays in Anglo Gold Ashanti.
Somewhat similar share chart there, actually, but I guess that follows because it's following the same underlying drivers. It's got the local assets, but the real upside, I suppose, is if the gold price were to improve, and then you might see some margin improvement.
Comparison from your perspective, Joseph?
I think the PE certainly shows that it's trading at a better PE compared to Anglo Gold and relative to the market as well. An improvement on the dividend yield, but certainly I think it looks more attractive, despite the fact that, as Paul said, the share chart looks the same. But if you look in terms of their sales, double-digit over an average of 24% over the last 5 years, margins just under inflation 5.7.
Lower cost of production.
Lower cost of production as well.
Compared to obviously Anglo Gold Ashanti.
Exactly, that's the one we just discussed now. So certainly I think they almost, similar chart, almost, playing out to be the same. But certainly I still believe that given their lower cost of production, they should be able to benefit more should the gold price move a little bit higher. But also, if you look in terms of their sales, they've all been in the double digits.
Paul, comparatively
if South
speaking,
Deep comes right, then the all-in cost of production could be lower, but I'm not convinced that it will remain so. So I think they've done the same good hard work, and they are benefiting under the current arrangement. And I think Nick Holland has been
He's been
consistent.
CEO for a long time, though. Let's just talk about that. How many years has he been CEO?
At least 10.
As long as I've ever been interviewing.
And during the period, of course, he oversaw the split where these Sibanye assets were pushed out. And at some level, people expected those to be the sort of sunset assets. And instead, Sibanye has been the star performer.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Should, a CEO 10 years in more, maybe even potentially more, still be in that robust position, given the share chart? And as you say, all the right things being done, you are dealing with a volatile environment. You're at the mercy of the rand, you're at the mercy of the gold price. But is it time for a management change?
It's very difficult, really, to say how long should a CEO stay on a job. I think if you look at Shoprite CEO, they were there like forever, decades, right? Okay, but I think it depends on what new strategy they're putting together. I think there's improvement of profitability, and also in terms of mechanizing some of their operations. So there has been that. Certainly, I think he will be outshined by Sibanye, which was split from Goldfields. So my view is that I think if they look to say what did they do wrong in terms of their valuations and when they decided to dispose of those assets. But 10 years could be long if there's no change. So if you look in terms of the chart over the last 5 years, you say,
let's just look at that chart again. Let's look at it. Yeah.
There's no improvement, from a share price perspective, but we gotta start looking to say what is the return on equity, on capital employed, and certainly whether the margins are remaining, in double digits.
You definitely wouldn't be happy if you had bought it above 100 rand.
Warren Buffett said that CEOs should all be over 70 and they should have offices of their own so they can sit and think. That's all very well if you've got a steady state business, which is in the process of trying to just kind of tweak things. But if you need a completely new approach, maybe somebody younger with a new vision is required. Remember, this company has half of its production is in Australia, maybe a young, dynamic Australian with some fresh ideas.
It's worth discussing. Let's go hot or not on Goldfields.
I'll go hot on Goldfields, yeah.
Paul, I think you're going to go opposite.
I'm going to go not hot. I just think the South Deep operation, it's a very tough one to bring to scale in the way, and it's been many years that they've battled with that.
So not hot.